It was past midnight. Dr. Lena Ray sat alone inside a small observatory on the edge of the city. The room was cold and silent, except for the soft hum of machines and the blinking lights on her screen. Lena was not a famous scientist. She worked in a private research lab studying deep space signals. Most people ignored her work. They said space was empty. Nothing out there. Just stars and noise. But that night, something strange happened. A weak signal appeared on her computer. It repeated over and over again. It wasn't a random wave. It wasn't static. It had rhythm. It sounded almost like a voice. Lena leaned forward, confused. What is this? She whispered. She clicked a few keys and cleaned the signal. A pattern formed: 3 tones, then a pause. Then again 3 tones, then a pause. Then a longer sound, stretched like a cry. Her heart beat faster. It didn't match any Earth-based signal. Not from satellites, not from planes, not even from deep space probes. This was new, unknown, alive. She recorded it and sent a copy to the main data center. Then she emailed her boss. At 3 a.m., her phone buzzed. Lena, her boss said, tired and annoyed. It's just noise. Background radiation. Go home and sleep. But it's repeating. It's emotional. It sounds like someone crying. Space doesn't cry, he replied, and hung up. The next morning, Lena sat in front of her screen again. The signal was still there, still repeating. She listened carefully. Again and again. Suddenly, she noticed something new: one long sound at the end. It was different from the rest. She used software to translate sound into wave shapes. She compared those shapes to human voice patterns. The sound looked like a word. Her fingers shook as she typed a basic phonetic decoder. The result made her freeze. Help. The signal wasn't just a pattern. It was a message. Lena sat back, staring at the screen. Who was asking for help, and from where? Later that day, she visited the university where her friend Arjun worked. He was a sound expert, always curious about strange noises. She played the signal for him. After listening, Arjun frowned. This is not random. There's pain in it. You hear it too? Lena asked. Arjun nodded slowly. It's like someone calling out, but not in human language. Still, I feel something. They ran more tests. Compared the wave to whale songs, baby cries, and even emergency alerts. It was closest to a human scream, but distant, hollow, lost. That night, Lena couldn't sleep. She looked at the stars from her balcony, holding a cup of tea. Her mind raced. Was it really a voice? Was someone out there suffering? She checked her computer again. The signal had changed slightly. Now, after help, came a second word. She cleaned the noise and played it. Her mouth went dry. Daughter. Help. Daughter. Someone was crying out across space for their child. Lena's eyes filled with tears. She knew that feeling. She had lost her mother years ago. The pain never truly left her. Was this mother looking for help on Earth? Or had the child already reached here? The next day, Lena tried to contact space agencies. NASA ignored her. The European Space Agency marked her email as spam. Online forums laughed at her. Alien drama queen, one person commented. But Lena didn't stop. She believed the voice was real, a mother, somewhere in the galaxy, calling again and again while no one listened. 3 days later, the signal changed again. Now, it repeated a third word. Earth. Lena stared at the screen. Help. Daughter. Earth. The meaning was clear. Now someone's daughter was on Earth, and she was dying, and no one had heard the alien mother cry. Outside Lena's window, the stars continued to blink. But now, she wondered, were they blinking back? Was someone watching? She pressed record. This was only the beginning. Rain fell softly on the small town of Elbridge. People walked fast. hiding under umbrellas, heading home after a long day. But one woman walked slowly. No umbrella, no coat. Just quiet eyes and a sick child in her arms. She stood outside the emergency room of a small hospital. Her skin looked pale, almost gray. Her black hair fell straight, but something about it shimmered unnaturally. Her clothes didn't fit well, like she had copied a style without understanding it. The child in her arms was barely breathing. She stepped inside. Nurse Wendy looked up from the front desk. "Yes? Can I help you?" The woman said nothing. Her lips moved, but no sound came. Then she slowly held out the little girl, her hands shaking. Wendy stood up. The girl's eyes were closed, skin cold. But what truly shocked Wendy was her blood. It was too dark, almost purple. They rushed the girl inside. "What's her name?" a doctor asked. Still, the woman didn't answer. She just stood there, silent, wet from the rain, her hands pressed together like a prayer. In a room nearby, Dr. Lena Ray had just arrived. She wasn't a hospital worker, but she had followed something strange here, an energy spike. Her equipment had tracked the same frequency as the space signal, and it led her to this hospital. She didn't know why. Just a feeling. She waited quietly in the hallway. That's when she saw the woman. Their eyes met for a brief moment. Lena's breath caught in her throat. This woman was not human. She looked human, but her eyes had a shimmer like stars. And her face, though calm, held a deep sadness, a kind that felt ancient. Inside the ICU, doctors worked on the child. "She's crashing," a nurse said. "Weird blood chemistry," the doctor replied. "Tissue structure. Something's wrong." "She's not," he stopped. He couldn't say it out loud. Not human. Machines beeped wildly. The girl's small body shook. Outside the glass, the woman stood still, one hand pressed against the window. She whispered something. It didn't sound like English. It didn't sound like any language on Earth. But Lena, watching from the corner, understood one word: live. Later, Lena sat in the waiting area, pretending to read. But she was watching the woman carefully. No one else seemed to notice how strange she was. People passed by like she was invisible. Lena opened her tablet and played the recorded signal again, the one she had caught from space. Help. Daughter. Earth. Suddenly, something happened. The woman turned. As if she heard it. Even though Lena was using headphones, the woman stared right at her, eyes wide. Then she walked over and sat beside her. She said nothing, but Lena did. "Is that your voice?" The woman didn't nod. She didn't speak, but her eyes, they filled with tears. That night, the child's condition worsened. No one knew what to do. Medicine failed. Blood transfusion didn't work. Machines beeped and panicked. The doctors whispered, "This girl is dying." But the mother did not cry. She walked outside, into the rain, and stood under the night sky. She raised both hands toward the clouds, and whispered something in that strange language. Lena followed her quietly. She recorded the voice again. This time, it wasn't just a message. It was a call, a request, maybe even a warning. The sky above the hospital shimmered for a moment, almost like it blinked. Lena looked up. "What did you just do?" The mother turned to her and finally spoke, in broken English. "I call them." "Who?" She looked back at the hospital window, where her daughter lay dying. "My people." Back inside, the signal returned, louder, clearer than ever. It echoed through Lena's tablet on its own. But now new words appeared. "She is here. She is fading. They must not find her." Lena's mind raced. Who was they? Who? Was this woman really? And if someone was looking for the girl, were they already on Earth? The girl was dying. Doctors stood around her bed, whispering to each other. Machines beeped in panic. Every test gave the same result. Nothing made sense. Her heart was weak but beating. Her blood was rich in oxygen but too thick. Her organs looked human, but not quite. One doctor finally said it aloud. She's not from here. The hospital was now locked down. Two men in dark suits arrived. Government, maybe. No ID badges, no names. They took the blood samples. They scanned the machines. They asked no questions, but expected full answers. One of them looked at the x-rays and muttered, "She's the one." Dr. Lena Ray sat in the corner of the room, pretending to be just another visiting researcher. But inside, her heart pounded. She knew the truth now. This girl was the daughter in the signal. Help, daughter, Earth. And her mother, that strange woman who never spoke, was the voice that space had carried to her across galaxies. Lena stared at the girl's pale face. She looked so small, so fragile, so human, but beneath her skin, there was something else. In the hallway, the mother stood still, watching everything through the glass. One of the agents stepped up to her. He stared directly into her eyes. "You don't belong here." She didn't answer. Instead, her body shimmered for just a second. The skin flickered like bad static on a TV screen, and for the first time, her disguise broke. Her real form shone through. Glowing silver eyes, transparent skin like glass, light moving through her veins. A being of beauty and sorrow. Then just as fast it was gone. The man took a step back. Stunned, she turned and walked away. Later that night, Lena followed her to the rooftop. The city lights blinked far below. The stars above looked calm, but Lena knew they were watching. "I know who you are," Lena said softly. The mother didn't answer. "You're not here to invade. You're just a mother." She looked up, her voice like a whisper in wind. I hid her here, far from them." "Who's them?" "They destroy what they fear," Lena nodded. "You mean the people chasing her?" "The mothers." Eyes filled with light. "They won't just take her. They will burn everything she touched." Inside the hospital, the girl gasped in pain. Her skin lit up under her veins. Symbols appeared on her arms, glowing softly, like a language never written before. The machines went crazy. The glass cracked. Doctors ran out in fear, but Lena and the mother ran and Lena reached the girl's side. "She's burning up." The mother placed her hand over the child's heart, and for a moment time slowed. The room grew quiet. Then the symbols faded. Her breathing steadied. Lena stared. "What was that?" The mother pulled back. "She has started awakening." Suddenly, alarms went off. Red lights flashed in the halls. The agents were coming. Lena looked at the mother. "They'll take her. We have to get her out." The mother nodded. "There is a way." Deep below the hospital, hidden beneath old storage rooms, a locked door hadn't been opened in years. Lena and the mother carried the girl down long stairs and into darkness. There, behind a wall of concrete, the mother raised her hand. A soft hum echoed. The wall moved. Behind it was a hidden chamber covered in alien tech. Lena stepped back. "You built this here?" The mother nodded. "Long ago, in case this day came." She placed the girl inside a silver pod. Lena touched its surface. It felt warm, alive. "What is this?" "A bridge." "A bridge to where?" The mother looked up, her eyes glowing again. "To home." As the pod closed, the building above shook. Footsteps echoed from the stairs. The agents were coming fast. Lena turned to the mother. "We won't make it." But the mother smiled. "She will." Then she raised her hand one last time, and the walls of the chamber lit up with power. Above ground, the hospital lights blacked out. The sky opened for a brief second. And then silence. No trace. No pod. No child. Only Lena stood there alone. The agents found nothing. The girl had vanished. No footprints. No energy. Just one silent room and a scientist who refused to speak. When asked what happened, Lena only said, "She was never yours to take." That night, back in her apartment, Lena stared at the stars again. The signal on her device began to play one last time. But now, it had a new word, one that sent chills down her spine. They're coming. Asterisk, the pod was gone. No one saw it fly. No one heard it move. But by morning, the child had vanished. All that remained was silence and suspicion. The government agents were furious. We had her, one said, slamming his fist. She slipped through Earth's hands. Another whispered. But Lena Ray knew better. She hadn't slipped. She had escaped. Back in her lab, Lena replayed the last signal again. They're coming. It played on loop, cold and robotic. But behind the voice was something else. Fear. Not fear of humans. Fear for them. That evening, Lena returned to the hospital one last time. The room where the child had been was empty. The machines were gone. The walls had been cleaned. But on one glass panel, almost invisible, Lena saw a mark. A glowing symbol, alien. Elegant, fading slowly. A message left behind. She traced it with her fingers. Suddenly, her tablet buzzed. Coordinates. Not random. Hidden in the symbol's light. Location. Deep forest. Off-grid. Remote. And the signal had started again. Not from the sky this time, but from Earth. Hours later, Lena parked her car on a dirt road. Trees towered above her. The sky was black. No stars. Only clouds. She carried her scanner. Following the signal's hum. It led her to a clearing, silent, empty until she saw it. The mother. Standing beside a hidden ship. Not like the ones in movies. This ship looked like a giant tear made of light and silver. It shimmered like water, but held its shape. The mother spoke without turning. She's inside, healing. Lena walked closer. But the signal, why send it again? The mother looked at her. Because we are not alone anymore. Suddenly, the trees around them lit up. Red beams, motion sensors. Lena turned. Drones. 1, 2, 5. Then came boots, shadows, agents. They had followed her. A voice shouted, "Step away from the object." The mother raised her hands slowly, but her face was calm. Too late, she whispered. The agents opened fire, but the bullets never hit. They stopped mid-air, as if frozen in time, then dropped to the ground. The ship pulsed once. Everything shook. Lena fell to her knees, covering her ears. The mother walked forward slowly. I came here to hide, to protect her, but they followed. And now they know. Lena's eyes widened. Who knows? The mother looked at the sky, and it answered her. A sound like thunder, but deeper, older, not natural. Clouds above tore open in a ring, and something began to descend. Not a ship, not a creature, something darker. The mother stepped back. They found her. They found Earth. Lena stared upward. Black light. A hole in the sky. Like something was peeling reality apart. The mother turned to her one last time. You must leave. You must run. Lena shook her head. No, I'm staying. The mother blinked, and for a moment her true face returned. Not fear. Not sadness. Just love. Then protect her when I'm gone. She stepped into the light of the ship. The agents shouted. They charged forward, but the ship responded. With one pulse it vanished, like a wave crashing in reverse. All light disappeared, all sound vanished. Just forest. And smoke. And Lena alone again. Or so she thought. A small hand touched her wrist. Lena turned. The girl was there. Alive, awake, eyes glowing faintly. She had returned, but the mother hadn't. Behind them, the sky closed, but not fully. One last flicker of darkness remained like a scar. And Lena knew. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. She returned alone. The girl stood in the middle of the forest clearing, staring at the sky that had just swallowed her mother. Her silver eyes blinked slowly, glowing faintly in the dark. She looked older, now stronger. Changed. Lena took a step toward her, but the girl spoke first. She saved me. Her voice was soft, Strange, like she was still learning how to shape words. Then she said something Lena didn't expect. She left a message for you. Lena and the girl hid in an old cabin deep in the woods. No roads, no signals, no electricity. Only quiet. But even in silence, the girl was listening. She placed her hand on the floor. She's still speaking. Lena frowned. Who? The girl looked up. The stars. That night, Lena powered up her device using a solar cell. The moment it turned on, the signal returned stronger, clearer, sharper, but it wasn't the same message from before. This time, it was coordinates. In orbit, something had arrived. Hours later, far above Earth, a small object entered low orbit undetected by radar. A ship. Satellite. Smooth. Black. Alien. It hovered like it was waiting. Watching. Listening. Carried it. Memory inside. Like a bottle in the ocean of space. Lena intercepted the signal and decoded it. It formed a voice. The mother's voice. If you are hearing this, then I am gone. But she lives. That is enough. Lena's hands shook. Earth is no longer safe. They have seen it. They will come not for war, but to erase. They fear what they do not control. The voice paused. Then, soft and final. She is the last of her kind. Protect her, or she will become the last of yours too. Back on the ground, the girl stood outside the cabin. She looked up at the night sky. A single star flickered, then vanished. Did you see that? She asked. Lena nodded. Satellite. Burnout? The girl shook her head slowly. No, they destroyed it. Who? She looked at Lena. The ones who are coming. The next morning, Lena woke up to find the girl drawing strange shapes on the cabin wall, glowing symbols. What are those? The girl paused. A map. A warning. Then she added, almost whispering, and a door. At that same moment, across the world, strange events began. Telescopes failed to track certain stars. Satellites blinked offline. Radio towers picked up whispers in unknown languages. Some governments dismissed it as interference. Others knew better. In hidden bases, emergency plans were opened. Someone had come. Back in the woods, Lena packed supplies. We need to move. Where? The girl asked. To someone who'll believe us. The girl touched her arm and whispered, not just believe, fight. Suddenly, Lena's tablet beeped. The screen went black, then flashed white. A single new word appeared. Unlocked. A hidden file opened. A star map. Earth was at the center, but marked red. Another planet blinked. Green. Lena stared at it. That's not in our system. The girl placed her hand on the screen. It's home. A sound broke the quiet. A hum. No engine. No wings. Just a ripple in the air. Something was descending fast. The girl froze. They're here. Lena grabbed her bag. We run. But the girl didn't move. They'll always follow. Not because of who I am, but what I carry. Lena's voice shook. What do you carry? The girl looked at her calmly. A code. In the skies above, invisible to the human eye, a dark ship hovered. No lights. No windows. Just shadow. Inside, beings spoke without words. She's active. Retrieve the seed. Erase the world. Lena and the girl reached an underground cave. It wasn't marked on any map, but the girl knew every step. This is where she hid the gate. Lena hesitated. What's on the other side? The girl looked at her. Hope or extinction. Then the rocks began to move, not by touch. By voice. The girl spoke a single word, and a portal opened, glowing. Warm, ancient. Behind them, a beam of black light struck the forest. Trees vanished in silence. The cabin disintegrated. No fire. No sound, just nothingness. They didn't run. They stepped through the portal. Together. And the moment they disappeared, the stars began to scream again. But this time, Earth was listening. Time didn't work the same on the other side. When Lena and the girl stepped through the glowing portal, The world behind them vanished. No forest, no earth, no sound. Just silence. And then, light. They found themselves standing on a floating platform. Endless sky above. Endless water below. No wind, no sun. Only a slow heartbeat. Not Lena's, not the girl's, but the planet's. The girl took a deep breath. It remembers us. Lena looked around. Where are we? This was our world, before they came. She pointed to the sky. They turned it to dust. My mother saved this one piece. Hid it between time. Lena touched the surface. It felt like glass, but warm. It pulsed gently. You brought me here to heal? The girl shook her head. To finish it. Back on Earth, the sky was cracking. People saw it just for a second before their screens. Turned to static. Black ships appeared, not landing. Just hovering. As if Earth was under inspection. Waiting for one thing. The girl, on the memory planet. Lena and the girl stood before a silver structure, part tree, part machine, alive and ancient. It whispered in a voice only the girl could hear. She walked forward. I carry the seed. A compartment opened. Inside, a glowing orb, small, beautiful. Alive. Suddenly, Lena felt something cold in the air. She turned, and behind them stood the shadow. It wasn't a being. It was absence. Creature made of memory loss, of nothing. It had followed them through the tear. It wanted the seed. The girl held the orb tightly. She said this might happen. Who? Lena asked. My mother. Then, with quiet strength, the girl handed Lena the seed. You must take it back. Lena panicked. What? No, this isn't mine to carry. But the girl smiled. You're the only one who listens. The shadow roared. The sky turned upside down. The platform cracked. Beneath their feet, the tree machine began to die. The girl turned to Lena one last time. And said a word Lena had never heard before, but somehow understood. Remember. Then the girl ran toward the shadow and exploded with light. Back on Earth. All across the planet, the black ships blinked, then began to fall. One by one. Silent. Lena woke up gasping on a snowy mountain slope. The seed in her hand was still. Glowing. No portal. No girl. Just her. And the final message playing softly in her ear. She gave her last breath, so others could take one more. News spread fast. The skies cleared. The ships vanished. The stars stopped screaming. But no one knew why. No one except Lena and the seed. Years later, she would build something, a listening station, a place where no voice, human or alien, would be ignored again. And above its doorway, she carved the first word the girl ever spoke to her. Live. Years passed. Earth moved on. The skies were calm again. No signals, no black ships, no shadows in orbit. The world forgot. But she didn't single quotes T. Dr. Lena Ray, now older, walked through a quiet valley every morning to reach her observatory built not for research, but for remembrance. It stood high on a mountain, above the clouds. Small, silent. But inside, it listened. Day and night. To the stars. To time. To memory. She had called it Station Echo. No one really visited. No tourists. No students. Only one child. Came every week. A young girl. Quiet. Curious. Drawn to the stars. She would sit on the cold floor and ask only one question. Is someone still out there? Lena would smile and say, yes, and one of them was once here. The child had never seen the sky the way Lena did. To most people, stars were just lights. To Lena, every one of them was a voice still waiting to be heard, still crying, still whispering, still sending messages that traveled light years for just one chance at being understood. One evening, just as the sun dipped low, the child drew a shape on the dusty floor. A circle, a symbol. Lena froze. She recognized it. She had seen it once on the girl who saved Earth. Where did you learn that? Lena asked. The child shrugged. I see it in dreams. A silver tree and a girl who glows. Lena's voice caught in her throat. Does the girl speak? The child nodded. Double quotes. She says one word. Over and over. What word? The child looked. Up. Eyes calm. And whispered. Remember. That night, the station picked up a signal. First time in years. Soft. Almost nothing, but clear. Not a warning. Not a cry, just a voice. A child's voice. Not from space. From the stars. Memory, repeating a message. I am still here. Lena didn't move. She sat in the dark. Listening. Crying. Smiling. Because she knew even if no one else remembered her. Even if no one ever saw her again. The girl had left behind more than just a signal. She left a seed of hope. And sometimes, late at night, when the wind was quiet, Lena could almost hear the stars breathe.